to be talked about during the safety meeting, because it was issued.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the City of Charlestown Sanitary Sewer Board. Today's June 5th, 2025. It is 9 a.m. We'll begin our meeting with our custom, which is to say the pledge of allegiance. Go please, John.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We do have an agenda that's provided. Okay, the easements are on there. I just want to make sure those easements got on there too, so I just need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Michael. Second by Nathan. Any other questions or edits? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. We have our standing business, which includes our minutes from our meeting on the 15th of May, current claims, and our payroll amounts docket from May 11th to May 31st. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Michael.
Second.
Second by Nathan. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
That was unanimous. I did just want to make a note that at the previous meeting, when I read the payroll allowance docket, I read the dates from the agenda, and those dates were incorrect. However, the dates on the actual payroll docket were correct. And so I asked Heather to make an asterisk in the minutes that they were read incorrectly, but they were correct. So I just wanted to say that in this meeting, that on the docket themselves, they were correct. Is there anyone signed up for public comment? None? Straight into the old business, we had our evaluation of the Spring Street BOT. So just to summarize where we were, we published this request for qualifications. We've gotten 2 responses. There were some questions that came up as we were reviewing the responses that, for ethical reasons, thought it best to get the groups here in public and ask those questions and have those conversations for clarification. And then all 3 board members went back to the rating system based on those answers. And from that, the team from GM Develop has received the highest quantitative score on that assessment. I think for me, when I was evaluating, this comes down to short-term risk and long-term risk and mitigating both of those factors. And while I felt that one team might have provided less short-term risk, I felt like the GM team provided less long-term risk. Especially with the ambiguity of not exactly knowing how much it would cost to receive that initial pack, or what it would be added to the maximum packet with the price package. So that factored into my decision. So with that, we need to make a decision today on who to award this to for the scoping period. Based on the scoring and based on the feedback we received, I will make the motion that we award the scoping period to the team from GM Develop.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Treva, we have a second by Michael. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous. So moving forward from here, this is just the scoping period. GM Development team will be in touch to make all those arrangements to move forward with the scoping period on that project. Following the scoping period, they will make their presentation for the maximum price of the project. Final award decision will of course go to the council after we've had time to review from there. Council always makes the final decision on these. So if there are other questions on that, we will move on to new business. Tim is not able to be with us today. Seth, are you providing? Oh, all right. What?
Are you ready for me?
I am ready. Why don't you introduce yourself to the board? I don't know.
Morning, board members. My name is Josh Winslow. I'm the collections supervisor at the wastewater treatment plant.
Hello, Josh.
I am here to just let you know everything's going very well at the plant. We did have a slight hiccup with our UV system. We did repairs to it and everything's running good now. We were never out of our limits for IDIM whatsoever, but we were getting close, so we fixed the problem. New plant's coming along very well. They have torn down our garage and are starting to put in pipe, I believe today, or they started yesterday. but it's starting to look different down there.
Good.
We're also emptying a lot of our bags because they're going to be destroying some of our drying beds. So we need to get ahead of the game before they start doing that.
How will that work with how will you make that transition between losing some of the drying beds? Are you gonna have enough capacity within the drying beds for the bags to keep us functioning with that sludge removal
Yes,
process?
the-
While they wait for the,
I'm gonna say worst case scenario, we may have to remove more than one bag a month
okay,
or fill a bag in a month
Okay.
because we're only limited in our beds.
sure.
So
We have
instead
4
of
or
waiting,
5.
we have 5 beds.
5 beds.
One bed we have just for when we have to vac out a manhole
Right,
and we dump in that bed.
okay,
And then we have 4 beds for bags. And so now we're just gonna, depending on how many beds they tear down and when they tear it down, we're just trying to get ahead of the game right now.
okay.
The main reason I'm here is we're seeking the approval to purchase a pipe patch kit from Source One. What this kit allows us to do is, when we've come across via our TV, when we come across infiltration or small breaks in the line, instead of contracting out a dig up to do a point repair, which can cost $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, what this does is it's a bladder that we can insert in the main line, and we wrap a felt or it's like a fabric that has fiberglass on it and it's soaked in a resin. You wrap it around this bladder, you shove it down the line, and you inflate it. And it gives it, maybe, depending on what type of packet you get, let's say it takes an hour to cure, and it cures against the pipe, sealing the hole, sealing infiltration. And one kit only costs, I say only, but it's $500 per kit. So it's $500 versus thousands of dollars, which is a huge savings in that. And if there's a problem in somebody's yard where our main line goes through, we do not have to dig up somebody's yard, which that can be also trying. So do you guys have a copy of the quote? Okay.
Yes.
And that is all I have for you guys today. And if anybody has any questions.
So it's $500 per patch. What exactly are you purchasing this, the ability to do?
This is all the equipment that needs to
Okay.
be involved to do that.
And then you would have to buy the patch separate each time, but it's.
Yes,
Okay.
the gentleman from Source One is gonna come down and do a demo if we are approved.
Okay,
And the main location right now, there is that bridge on Locust Street where the creek
yes,
goes underneath it.
yes,
Over the course of time, the pipe that runs under the bridge, right next to the creek, the bridge weight has separated the pipe. So I've got a quote for, it's around $4,000 to dig down and do a point repair on those pipes, but if we do this, it's, in the long run, it's gonna be a
Right.
lot better.
right,
But he's gonna come down and do a demo, we're gonna get those 2 knocked out in 1 day. Instead of it taking 2 or 3 days to get the dig up done,
sure,
we can have this done in a matter of hours.
okay.
Is the $6,500?
Yes.
So do we have a motion to approve the purchase of the equipment needed to provide this patch from Source One Environmental? The amount is $6,556.53.
Make that motion, that's a no-brainer for me.
Yep, motion made by Nathan, second by Michael. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
I'll tell Tim you get an A+.
I appreciate it.
And then we had some easements, and I'm gonna lean on Bo here, to explain what is going on with these easements, related to the Highway 62 lift station.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, we went through a BOT process with the Highway 62 lift station. The redevelopment commission had been involved on this as well. There are easements needed for this lift station. They're in part of the BOT. There is an entity called Southern Indiana Development Partners that owns certain real estate we need easements to run through. The redevelopment commission entered into a development agreement with that entity. In exchange for the easements, the redevelopment commission is going to pay for a road for them, a short road. So the redevelopment commission has approved these easements. I thought it would be prudent for this board as the entity that will be, the easements are in the name of the city of Charlestown generally. Given this board is in charge of the collection system I thought it would be prudent if you all approved and accepted both of these easements. There's two. One's a permanent easement for the pipe. The other is a temporary construction easement as well.
I think I've seen
So there's actually two temporary construction easements for two different parcels, and then there's
Yeah.
one permanent for one of the parcels, is that?
That's right.
So there are two parcels at play here. One has a temporary construction easement and the permanent easement, and then the other parcel has just the temporary construction easement.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's right.
I don't think I've seen
Have you not seen here? I don't know if there's a map in there or not, but it runs, so across Highway 62, they're all those are like all three of the easements.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's three.
Yeah, there's three easements.
Okay.
So the new lift station is going, at the back of the gravel lot, next to where the car wash is across Highway 62. There previously, most recently, have been some, of those Girard, like pre-built buildings there. It's kind of at the back of that lot. So the main will have to go under Grace, across Grace Avenue, and then straight across kind of to where the medical facility is. And what we worked out with the Southern Indiana Development Partners, they are wanting to sell or to activate the commercial lots on the front side of 62 there across from Forest Edge. And to do that, they obviously need an access road coming off of Grace. So the road will go from Grace Avenue up to that little intersection that's already been kind of pre-plotted where the medical facility is. It's just a straight, very short road. The redevelopment commission worked out an agreement whereby the city would install that road, but to go ahead and take access, we're gonna be able to run that sewer line through where that road will go, just like all of our other roads with all our other sewer lines. So that's the location, that's what these easements are for.
Yeah, and there will be some other easements from other entities coming forward.
Right, we will have to get some easements from the medical
Correct.
office as well. But these are just for that initial phase to get it through, that road access. I believe the council will the council vote on this? Do they have final decision on this? No? Okay. Tony Jackson has an easement related on something related to an easement on the Advisory Planning Commission meeting agenda. I'll have to look back at that. I don't know what that was for, but I thought it was, it's related to a plat redesign, never mind. Because of these easements, they have to redesign the plat.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not the easements themselves, it's a plat redesign through the APC. That goes to the council.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Make a motion to approve the easements as presented.
Okay, we have a motion by Nathan,
No, second.
second by Michael. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous. I wrote that in the wrong place, hold on, get caught up here. So then our final item of business today, is another SRF disbursement on the wastewater treatment plant. This one is in the amount of $46,753. Seth or Josh, can you confirm that, Tim usually confirms that he looked these over, this is with JTL, do you know if
Yes.
he approved this?
Yes.
Okay. Just need a motion to authorize that payment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Michael,
Second.
second by Nathan. Any questions on that one? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous. Is there any other matter of business other than signing for Donna so she doesn't have to chase us down and get mad at us? No, need a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Somebody make it, or second. Michael, Nathan seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we adjourn, thank you.
And y'all-